Hello guys and welcome to another deck tech video. My name is Xenon and I'll be showing you today how to play and build the mono red burn deck on Magic the Gathering Arena. It's a very complex deck filled with a lot of different intricacies and considerations that you have to take into effect whenever you're wondering how to play this deck. I have it assembled right here. Pretty much mostly. I kind of ran out of wild cards and I wasn't able to get a couple of cards, but that's okay because we're close enough, I think. So first we've got our Gitu Lava Runner. It's our 1-drop, get the 1/2 get with haste if there are instant sorcery cards in the graveyard, which is pretty nice. You just get it, right off the bat. Just get to smack in there for 1 or 2 damage. Then you've got Shock. Very difficult card to use here. Could deal 2 damage to any target. I mean, you really got to take into consideration, the board state, what your opponent's doing. Do I want to deal this 2 to the creature, to the planeswalker, to the face? You know what I'm saying? A lot of different considerations that we have to have here. Then we've got our electrostatic field. This is a bit of a spicy brew. Not a lot of people play the electrostatic field yet in the burn deck. I hear a lot of people run different options, which is, fine for them. But I think what you really got to be looking for here is the electrostatic field. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, it deals 1 damage to each opponent to the face. So you basically just get 1 extra damage after every card you cast, which is pretty great, especially in this deck with the composition. Then I've got Lightning Strike, another very difficult card to use sometimes. 2 mana for 3 damage, it's a bit of a tough trade-off. I can understand why some people wouldn't want to run it, but at the same time, we just got to go full steam ahead. You never know what you got to do whenever you got to do. So it deals 3 damage to any target. Are we going to deal that to the face? Are we going to deal that to a creature? Are we going to deal it to a planeswalker? Sometimes you don't know, and you just got to make that decision, on the fly over the course of the game, and it can win or lose you some matchups. You just never know what you got to be doing. Then I've only got 1 Runaway Steamkin, which is kind of sucky. I wish I had more because you get a lot of mana off of this little guy. You can get 3/1/1 counters on it whenever it does a thing. You can remove them, and you get triple mana, which is pretty great. It's whenever you cast a red spell, and everything here is a red spell. So you're gonna be casting that pretty consistently, like turn 3, turn 4, turn 5, maybe even turn 6, turn 7. All the way, turn 8, turn 9, maybe even turn 10, just really consistent cast, the whole game. Then you got your Viashino Pyromancer. This is your Viashino Wizard, really one of your essential 2-drops. In a deck that really doesn't have a lot of 2 and 3 drops, this is one that you've got to really nail. Mostly 1-drops in this deck. Whenever it enters the battlefield, it's 2 damage to the player or the planeswalker. So there's another consideration there. Do you want to deal it to the planeswalker, or do you want to deal it to the face? You never really know, and you have to make that decision, which is very difficult sometimes. Then you've got your Gutter Snipe. It's your Goblin Shaman. It's one of your turn 3 drops. Whenever your opponent casts an instant or sorcery spell, whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, it just deals, 2 damage straight to the face, which is really great. Sometimes you have to decide when to cast it. You're not really sure if you want to do this early game, if you want to do it late game. It can be a pretty good finisher. Whenever you're just trying to finish your opponent off with life. Then I got 3 Light Up the Stages here, not really an essential card for this deck either, but with, Ravnica Allegiance having just coming out, I thought I'd throw it in there, just, spice it up a little bit, get that brew going, really create a unique deck format for you guys. Spectacle cost, so usually you've already damaged, though, if you don't want to damage before it too, it's fine, it's only 3 mana versus 1, you're not really getting a ton of a change. In terms of value out of that, you get to exile the top 2 cards of your library, and then you can, until the end of your turn, you can play those 2 cards. Really helpful, kind of a pseudo experimental frenzy. This isn't frenzy burn. I decided not to do that. It's a little bit complex, a little bit too strategic for me. I prefer games that move a little bit quicker, that still have thought into them. You know what I'm saying. Then we got Skewer the Critics, sorcery. Got a spectacle cost. Does 3 damage to any target, which again. Need a lot of consideration going here. Do we do it to the face? Do we do the planeswalker? Do we do it to the creature? There's just endless possibilities that you really have to consider a lot of the time, and that can make these things kind of difficult. Then we got Wizard's Lightning. This one also a lot more difficult. It costs 2 less to cast if you control a wizard. Well, you're not always going to control a wizard, so do you still cast this whenever you don't control a wizard? I don't know. Then we got Banefire. Banefire is a good finisher, especially against control shells, where the game's going a long time and, you just have decided to not concede even though they have clear board superiority over you and you're just dragging it out. That way you can top deck a Banefire. Just for that scenario, I run 2 of them. If you cast one early game, it's fine. If you deal, it deals X damage to any target, so you can do a maximum of 22 damage in this deck, because I'm running 22 mountains. Normally you run less mountains because it's Magic. Who needs to run land in their deck? Not mono red burn, that's for sure. So now that I've got the whole point of this deck really is it's to do damage. That's what burn as an archetype is. You're just doing damage. Now modern burn, commander burn, limited burn, legacy burn, all those have their different styles to it, but I think that standard Magic the Gathering Arena burn is the most complex and thought-provoking way to play burn. And we're going to get into that real quick here. So I'm going to go ahead and just get into a ranked game here. We'll just play regular best of 1. I don't have a sideboard constructed, because you don't really need a sideboard with mono red burn in best of 1. It really does the job pretty effectively, you gotta say. Honestly, I'm pretty excited about this. It's gonna be a good ride. Okay, let's get into it. Playing against Doc Peaches, getting the randomized. I'm playing as Karn this time. It's all good, Okay, so we're starting off with 3 lands. We got our G2 Lava Runner, got some shocks. I think this is a pretty solid opening hand, so we're gonna go ahead and keep that. Maybe a little bit too much land for our tastes, but we've also got that G2 Lava Runner alongside the shocks, so you're really not gonna, you're not gonna mess with that all that much. So they're playing a swamp. I mean, that's kind of nice because now we can just there's 1 or 2 or more. So we're just gonna go ahead and swing in right there, get that 1 damage in, and then just wait till the end of our turn, and then we're gonna shock them twice. That way, our second G2 Lava Runner will have haste. Alright, let's get it. Alright, let's get this 1 shock in here. Bang to the face. Second shock in, bang to the face. And as you can see, our strategy is already working. We've got 3 mountains down. Another G2 Lava Runner, 2 2s with haste. Let's get it all the way down to 11. Honestly, guys, this is how it's supposed to be done. This is how Magic is supposed to be played. Looks like we're playing Esper Control, but it really doesn't matter since we can just do this to anything that they put out. Thief of Sanity. It's a pretty solid card. A little slow, what I'm saying. Not really the best card in Standard. I really wouldn't rank it all that high. But yeah, we're all the way down to 7. They can't really stop much of our threats. I'm going to shock in a Watery Grave for some reason, even though they're playing against a burn matchup. And we're just going to get that electrostatic field in there, Let's see what's going on here. Oh, Vraska's Contempt. Interesting. That's an interesting play. I wouldn't really expect that from this deck. Alright, I'm going to swing in with Lava Runner, and all of a sudden, they're at 5 health. I think this is really going well. I think we've got a good stable base in front of us. Alright, Banefire, you know what? Let's just get it. We can deal 4 damage to the face. So I'm going to go ahead and swing in. See what they have in response. Oh, a Vraska's Contempt. Well, okay. I guess we'll just end that turn then, because Banefire won't kill them. Banefire will only do 4. Dovin's Acuity. I wonder what that means. Oh, okay. Gain 2 life and draw a card. Interesting. So, Banefire, at the moment, it's going to deal 5 plus 1 from Electrostatic Field. So we're going to go ahead and keep that in our hand, just in case. I'm not really sure what they're going to be doing here, since, they're at 9 health against a burn deck. I don't know why they haven't conceded yet. Frankly, it's starting to get a little frustrating. Chemistry's Insight on the main phase. Man, that's not a good play, dude. They're going to get Acuity next turn, so now we're just hoping to get some burn magic. Oh, Mountain, that's also kind of helpful. So we're going to go ahead and... so that's going to deal 7 damage total, but they're going to gain 3 life next turn with that Acuity. They're going to gain 2 life, excuse me. So we're just going to go ahead and keep that in our back pocket for now, and just see what we can do here. They've got a lot of cards in their hand, none of which I'm really all that afraid of. Oh, we've got an Eldest Reborn. That's not ideal, because now we're going to miss out on that 1 damage. But that's fine, since we're just gonna Bane for 5, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 7, so we're gonna Bane for 5. Get them there. Then we can Sewer the Critics. Spectacle down to 1. and then it's their turn, you know? Things are going well. We have no cards in our hand. Just want to be able to play all the cards there. That way they can't get the value out of Eldest Reborn. So they're going to gain 2 life and draw a card, but that's perfectly fine since we have a bunch of 3-mana burn spells in our deck. Hero of Precinct 1, I mean, that's a pretty cool card, but you know what? I've got a Gutter Snipe, which is pretty great, I gotta say. Now let's see what's happening here. I'm going to put a Planeswalker card or creature card from a graveyard under their control. Get back that Thief of Sanity, which I guess is a pretty good play, but again, Thief of Sanity, not really one of the cards that you want to be running in Esper Control Shell, especially with this kind of a deck. I wouldn't really recommend it at any time, really. They're trying to stabilize here. It's probably not going to work. I mean, they're just going to keep... Okay, they're just going to keep popping off, which is, I guess, fine. Because here, Precinct 1's going to swing in. We just got a mountain, so we're going to play that. It's really fine, you know? All this is perfectly fine, even though they're just going to keep bouncing Dovin's Acuity. You know, it's just how it is in this deck sometimes. You just got to go with the flow and just hope that you top deck a second Banefire, you know? Sometimes you just gotta top deck that second Banefire and just be okay with it. Every once in a while, you know, you just gotta be fine. It's gonna keep swinging in. Thief of Sanity, their effect is gonna take place, which, you know, isn't all that great for them since they're just gonna get some burn spells, try to speed the game up quicker, potentially a Banefire. Gutter Snipe goes to the graveyard, which isn't ideal. But we're going to wait it out here, just see what kind of happens, hope that we can draw the cards that we need in order to make the plays that we need to make. He's only got 4 mana left, so I wonder if he's going to bounce the Acuity one more time. I would think so. Chemisters will discard that Cleansing Nova. Alright, he's get those cards back in hand. So really, we need to top deck a Banefire here, or else we are probably going to lose. Let's see what happens here. It's a shock, so we're going to go ahead and use that shock on that Thief of Sanity because we don't want that messing with our life anymore. Dovin's Acuity into the battlefield, Hero Precinct 1 into the battlefield, which is fine. I mean, they're just going to keep making guys, which is fine. I mean, I don't really think it's much of a problem. I just kind of wish they would speed things up already because it's taking a long time. This is why it's really bad to play against Control. Why I think Control is a bit of a toxic sort of a deck to compose, because Control really, it just takes so long, and you know, nobody, he's gonna even good game me because I mean, he's a piece of trash. I mean, look at this. I can't believe he drew the one card. Like, Ravenous Chupacabra literally does nothing. Why would you play a card that literally does nothing in this case? You're just gonna, oh my goodness. I'm gonna play my Viashino Pyromancer, just gonna deal 2 to the face, and I guess he just gets this one. I mean, he got lucky. He got really lucky. I mean, I definitely didn't misplay earlier in the game. I mean, that was just totally lucky. Pay 1 life for sacrifice a creature. Final payment's going to destroy it. I mean, that's fine. That's a totally, you know, just a luck-based game. Perfectly fine. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that's a mono red burn deck demonstration. Really one of the most complex decks in Standard, as you can see. Like, even a master player such as myself was unable to wrangle its effects to their full capabilities here in this game. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to drop a like, and thanks for subscribing. Goodbye.